welcome once again to Let's Talk Marriage. This is Pastor Larry coming to you this Wednesday afternoon with Let's Talk Marriage. All right, we're going to get right on into our program on today. Oh, wait, give me a second. Let me put my timer on. Here we go. There we go. All right. We're going to get right on to our program today. On our program today, we're going to be having what I call a hot topic. Today, on our hot topic today, we're going to be discussing what the Bible says about dating. Let me repeat that. We're going to be discussing on today's program what the Word says about dating. I know this is a hot subject, a hot topic. Well, first of all, I hope everyone is doing well. If you woke up this morning, you are doing well. All right, getting on back to our topic, what the word says about dating. I know it is, when we were coming up, especially in the sanctified churches, they would always taught us things that they didn't understand, or things that they kind of, just be honest, kind of made up, traditions that they made up. And one of the things that they used to tell us that, oh, you don't be dating nobody. Let the Lord pick your spouse, or things like that they would say. And because the word says for lack of knowledge, we didn't have a better understanding. And I just want to clarify some things and give you a better understanding what the word mean about dating, because we have the wrong concept of dating. There's two different concepts of dating, which should be explained to people when you tell them that. Because when you tell them that they shouldn't be dating, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to do the opposite of what you say, or they're going to leave the church and go find somebody so they can date them. But if you have something set up in your church where they understand exactly what dating is meant, not from the world point of view. The world's point of view of dating, this when you're sleeping around, they call that dating. But from the spiritual or Christian point of view, the word dating does not, let me clarify, that does not mean that you are sleeping around. And we need to get that understanding, because that's why we have so many marriages failed within the church, because people are marrying people that they don't know anything about. That's why there's so many marriages that fall. Things come up that they had no clue about the person, because they never got the opportunity to meet them, or the opportunity to know them is the word I want to say. They never got the opportunity to know that person. And if you're going into a lifelong commitment, you want to make sure you know who you're going into, because there's so many things out here. You need to know these people's social security number. You need to know these people credit report, credit history, because you don't want to marry nobody you don't know nothing about, no credit history, and nothing. You get in there, they credit score is 150. And they just, they get a credit card for the first time under your name, and just run it all up, and you start living way above your means. So you want to make sure that you know these people, because sometimes you don't know what you're getting. Especially nowadays, you might be getting a cross dresser, or someone that wasn't is not even a male, or not even female. You know what I mean? So you have to make sure that you know everything about these people, and that's where you get to know these people when you are dating them. You get to know them, and this is what I came across on my studies of this, and I ran across a study that's showing that teaches us about what God's word says about dating. Dating is intricately connected to God's design for human companionship and partnership. Let me repeat that again. Dating is intricately connected to God's design for human companionship and partnership. In the very beginning, God saw that Adam needed a companion. In his wisdom and love, God created Eve. He observed that it wasn't good for Adam to be alone, so he gave him a partner. This teaches us that dating too should be about seeking a suitable partner who we can experience life with, or seeking a suitable mate who God who we can experience life with, sharing experiences, building trust, and growing in faith together. Let me repeat that. Growing in faith together. Dating isn't merely a human invention, it is a reflection of God's intention for our relationships. Dating is a way for us to discover compatibility, companionship, and shared purpose with another person. Let me repeat that part. Dating is a way for us to discover compatibility, companionship, and shared purpose with another person. And this is a prayer that you should be praying, because when you meet someone, you should, it actually, when you're dating, it actually brings you closer to God. Because, first of all, you're seeking God, saying, is this the person for me? Should this, if he asked me to marry him, should I say yes? Should I say no? And, and the fellows are saying, is this woman is going to be my wife? Because I remember when I met my wife, we did see each other for a little while. We were dating, where I would take her to dinner and, things like that. And we got to know each other. One of the things that when I first met her, because most of you that know us know the story how we met, and and I told her the first time I met her, I said, "Oh, you're gonna be my wife." I wouldn't advise everybody doing it unless the Lord gives that to you. And the Lord had given it to me before I had met her, so I knew that she was the one for me. I knew that she was going to be my soulmate. Sometimes you can tell right away if the person is going to be your soulmate, and sometimes you can't. You have to figure it out, and that's where you get to know these people, and that's the purpose of dating a person. You get to know these people. There's so many people in the church that just up and marry somebody that they don't know. I mean, it's like this, like they on what's that show, Married at First Sight. The church started that a long time ago. You marrying folks you don't know, and then these things come out later on, and you wonder why these marriages are failing. You wonder why the kids are running wild. The kids are running wild because there's no complete homes, and especially in the brown and black communities, there's hardly ever a mom and dad in the home. And the reason why there's no mom and dad in the home is it goes back to them not knowing each other when they walk down that aisle. Before you walk down that aisle, you get to know these people. And that's where dating comes in. And we can't go around telling people that they should not be dating, because they should be. You have to get to know these people. You can't just marry them and say, "Oh, this the one for me. Oh, he look good." Just because something look good don't mean it's good for you. If you're a diabetic, ice cream cone might look good, but it's not good for you. And it might even taste good, but it's not good for you. So you have to make sure that you get to know these people, and that's where dating comes in. I visit a few churches that uh, they knew exactly what to do for couples that were looking into dating, and they were looking for companionship. They were looking for a soulmate. They were looking for someone to spend their life with. What they would do is they would have a couple that's been married, for a few years or so, and a happily married couple. They would let the young couple that were dating. They would go out with them, so they can see how it is to be married. And sometimes if they had kids, they would see how it is once you have children. They would do things like that, and They would have mentors, what they would call them, and they would go out with them. But they were allowed to, in one church I went to, visited, they even announced that they would say a brother and sister so and so, they're going to be dating now. They're going getting to know each other, and they would monitor them. They would go out with them, and and then the next step would be they would after they announce to each other or ask the other person to marry them, they would announce again that, oh, they're engaged now. They get to that step there, and and everyone would get up and clap and say, oh, congratulations, congratulations, and they would support them, and then they would constantly have counseling even before they marry. That's another thing that we're lacking. That's why a lot of marriages fail. Also, it's because there's no counseling within the church. You should be counseling with your pastor. If you're not counseling with your pastor, you should be seeking a marriage counselor before you walk down the aisles. And while you in that dating stage, you should be counseling with your pastor. Let them know how things are going, how you're compatible with each other, how you share the word with each other, and your concepts of life and your cognitive thinking are pretty much the same of things that you're doing in life. That's why you have to make sure that you get to know who you are with before you walk down the aisle. And we said that a lot on the program, that make sure that we are doing these things. This is a prayer that you should be praying while you, because again, when you're dating, that's another way that brings you closer to God, because you begin to seek God and ask God, is this the person that I should be with? And uh, thank you for the wisdom in your design for relationships. Help me to understand and embrace your intentions for companionship and partnership. Guide me as I pursue a partner who will align with your will for our lives. That is a wonderful prayer that you should be praying when you're seeing people. So, when you're interested in someone, because first of all, if you tell people that they should not be dating, guess what? They're going to do it behind closed doors. And that's another reason why you should not tell them that, because they'll do things behind closed doors, and then there's a whole nother issue going on there. You want them to have it out in the open, where everyone is supporting them when they have questions about relationships. They can come talk to their parents, talk to especially if they have parents that's been married a while, they can talk to them. If they have a pastor that's been married a while, you go before that pastor and you do counseling. And while you're counseling, you get to know. That's another way of getting to know people, because there's so many people in the churches that's just up and married people just because somebody told them, oh, they're gonna be your wife. Nobody can tell you that. You have to know that for yourself, and get to know these people so there won't be any surprises later on in life. So make sure that you are aligning with God's word. If you meet someone and you're interested in them and they're interested in you, and their ultimate goal is to be married, not because when you're in the church, if you seeing someone, your ultimate goal is should be to get married and start a family. Or if you don't want a family, you don't have to have children if you want to. But that should be discussed before you walk down the aisle, whether you want children or not, because sometimes people don't talk about that before they get married. And when they get married, the husband might want kids and the wife might not want them right away, or the wife might want kids right away and the husband might not want them right away. But that should be something that should be discussed before you walk down the aisle, doing that dating stage. When you get to the point where you're about to take it to another step, where you want to ask that person to marry you, and you pray about it and you seek God. That's what another reason why I said when you're in that dating stage, it brings you closer to God, because you begin to seek God and say, "Is this the person? Should I ask him?" What if they say no, Lord? Or, you ask the Lord these things, and then you go into counseling. You ask your pastor. Well, I'm thinking about asking sister so and so to marry me. What if she say no? You can talk to your pastor, especially if he's been married a long time, because during my time that I met my wife, the first time I asked her, she said no, and I just I said, oh, okay, I'll let you think that, because she had planned on going back to her hometown, and that was 35 years ago. So, and we've been happily married for 35 years because we got to know each other, and that's the main thing that you should be doing in your relationship. So that when we talk about dating as a Christian, it does not, let me repeat, that does not mean that you are sleeping around. It means that you're in the stage of getting to know that person. And you getting to know that person, you go out to dinner, you do things like that, you go to public places, and you just have a good time with each other. Get to enjoy each other's company. You go to church together, and things like that. And that's how you know before you, because so many people, so many Christians will marry someone that does not go to church, or they'll marry them and then after that they stop going to church. If you meet in the church, that's why it should be encouraged that you should meet in the church and say, I'm interested in marrying, or interested in someone. You go to your pastor or whoever, your mother or father, and say, I'm interested in so and so, and I'm thinking about asking her out. You go for coffee or something like that, and you get to know each other. That's the main thing about having a soulmate. You get to know each other. So there used to be thing people used to say, oh, when she called on the phone, I know her ring, or when she knock on the door, I know her ring. Things like that. You get to know each other, and and you get to enjoy each other's company. And again, we've said on the program, we make being. I always say we make being married hard. We make being Christians hard too. It's not hard. The yoke, Jesus is carrying the yoke. So why are we making everything so hard and difficult? And even in the churches, it just make things just so difficult. But doing this dating stage is not difficult if you do it with the wonderful intentions of, I'm planning on taking this relationship further. I'm thinking this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with. You have to get to know them first. You can't just jump out of a bag and say, "Oh, we get married tomorrow," because the Lord said so. Like married at first sight. Come on, people, make some sense. This is Pastor Larry. I'm going to be signing off until we meet again on Let's Talk Marriage. Now, before I go, I have to mention that we had a wonderful time at New Zion Christian Center this past Sunday. It was our first service, and I would like to personally thank Pastor Sherry and Michael Smith for coming out and being with us. Some wonderful people I've known for a long time. We've known them forever. Oh, my goodness. Whenever I think about it. Longtime friends. Pastor Mono came out to be with us. We like to thank all the people that came out to be with us. And we had a wonderful, wonderful time, and hope to see you again. And we're going to be meeting this Sunday once again, and every Sunday at 11 a.m. at 15014 South Des Plaines Street in Plainfield, Illinois. New Zion Christian Center, where yours truly, Pastor Larry, is the pastor. So come out and join us and be with us for our great new beginning. God bless you. Until we meet again, we're going to have more on the hot topics, and we're going to continue talking about Christian dating, God's design for dating. We're going to be talking about that again. We're going to continue that on next Wednesday. Until we meet again, this is Pastor Larry signing off here with Let's Talk Marriage. All right, all right. Now remember, all the music that you hear on this program is from a wonderful app called Whoop Triggers Plus. It's found on the Android as well as the Apple platform. Until we meet again, this is Pastor Larry signing off with that Talk Marriage.